What's up everyone and welcome to my Lancelot Endgame build, guide, and showcase. In this video I will be showing off his sigils, skills, and an actual showcase towards the end. If you enjoy this video, please support the channel by liking and commenting. It really does help more than you can imagine. Now without further ado, let's get started! Let's start off this video by going over Lancelot's skills, what I use and what you could possibly use depending on the circumstances or what fight you're in. I run with Blade Impulse, Blaurdolch, and please, if I mispronounce something, don't go too hard in the comments, alright? Turbulence and then Cold Swinger. I use Blade Impulse because it's like a gap closer. It's something you use with almost every character. I use this with my Narmaya, and one thing that's really good with the Blade Impulse is that it's chainable into your square combo, so you can use this and immediately start just absolutely plowing with slashes. My second, and this is the one that changes up circumstantially, I have supplementary damage so far because it helps me output damage. But what you can use an ice ranged attack. You can use that multiple times in a row. There's about, I think, 6 or 8 uses. You can use Southern Cross, which is another multi-hit, which is chainable into your square combo. This one is super niche, I imagine. Redistributes Lancelot's SBA gauge to all allies. I don't know a situation when you would use this unless you have certain sigils that make you build your SBA so fast that you can actually slot it out to your teammates and then build it up again so you can chain. Something of that nature. And then Mirror Image. I used this in the beginning when I was first starting to use him, but since he has his triangle and dodges a lot, and based on my sigils and how I play him, I don't actually really need this because I'm not, if I'm dodging correctly, I'm not getting hit too often. My other move that I use a lot is this one. You dodge into the air, do a ground AoE, and then you can immediately chain into your square combo. You notice with his skills that a lot of them chain into his square, and that's because, or is his normal combo, square, whatever you're using on what controller or game system, because it chains into his normal, and you can just keep going, starting your combo, and that will be further explained in the actual skill showcase. Now, one of the skills that I think is the most important on big boss fights is this. It basically traps the enemy with Glaciate, so you can use it when they're using a big AoE damage attack. You can stun them and actually cancel the action. In the showcase at the end, I'll hopefully showcase that and explain that more. But another way to use this is when they're about to go into overdrive, you can pop this and you and your team can get off a little more DPS and maybe even skip a couple phases. This is really good on Proto Bahamut Raid and other bosses. Time to show off his skills and gameplay and explain how to actually use him. If you're a beginner, he is extremely beginner friendly. I've only been playing him for about a day or so, and I've kind of got his combos down. The hardest part is dodging with his twin blade dance. You use this basically as your roll, your dodge. If you dodge at the correct time, you can actually get a perfect dodge. So that will lead into the sigil build that I will be doing for him. But to start off a fight, you would more than likely use your Blade Impulse to gap close, boom, and then see how it immediately chains into this. This character is probably one of the characters that will give you arthritis because you will just spam square. You see this? Keep spamming, keep spamming. And without using any directional inputs, if you're just standing still, press triangle, combo finisher. Now one thing that gets me is I like to move around my directional a lot. So if you were to do a combo finisher, you see how it says combo finisher? Now I move and now it's just twin blade dance and dodging. This character is extremely agile and versatile. I like him in that sense because it gives him a lot of versatility and ways to dodge enemies, but then still stay on them and just plow them with attacks. Alright, here's his supplemental damage. I will be seeing how long it actually lasts. Let's... One... I think it lasts for about 30 seconds or something. I was going to activate the timer, but I didn't. But you can see how it triggers other attacks. You see them right there, boom, boom. Now let's do Turbulence. This is the attack where you jump up, so you basically dodge, and you do an AoE that's chainable into this. Here is his boss stopper, his trap. Boom, Glaciate, you hold it, and while you're holding this, 1, you're dealing damage, 2, they're trapped for longer, and 3, your teammates, if you're playing online or your AI, can pump out damage. There's that AoE again. And that's it for my skill showcase. I will catch you in Sigils. Before we get started with Sigils, I want to do a disclaimer. I am in Endgame. I do not have him built perfectly or have him built all the way. In this specific part of the guide, I will be telling you what Sigils you should have, not what Sigils I have on. I want to make that completely clear, because I see people tearing everyone up in the comments of their Sigils and everything like that. I have a lot of what I need, but I don't have a couple. There's about 4 Sigils that are almost mandatory. You need his Potion Hoarder. Potion Hoarder is one of the best Sigils in the game. It gives you more potions with the levels that you're at. Let me go down here to Potion Hoarder. It gives you +2 green potions, +4 blue, 4 mega potions, and you get 1 extra revival potion. The more you get, the more potions you get. I would only use Potion Hoarder, one of them, and then if you get the plus version of any of these Sigils, you can look for a substat. That should be Potion Hoarder. Substats are really good, that are versatile and survivability rate. That's kind of what you're looking for, like quick cooldown, not fast learner. You would use Potion Hoarder, Guts, some nimble onslaught, something of that nature. But what his character specific Sigils do, let's see right here, we have White Dragon's Oath. This boosts the damage and distance covered by his Twin Blade Dance. It makes you way more agile, plus when you do your triangle attack, it gives you +50% damage. That's a +50% automatic and +25% movement range. That's extremely good. And when you pair this with the dodges and stuff that you will be putting on the Sigils, it'll make your invincibility and your dodge payback and everything so much better. Now, the second character specific Sigil you will use is White Dragon's Glory. It basically gradually boosts damage of each successive hit. Boost damage dealt by a max of +50%. +50% is a lot, especially if you have your cap up super high and you're actually hitting that cap. Dude, insane amount. So those are 2 that are mandatory. Potion Hoarder is the 3rd that is mandatory. And something else, which I do not have and I cannot seem to get it for the life of me, it would be right here, War Elemental. What War Elemental does is, no matter what element your character is, no matter what you're doing, you will always hit elemental weakness damage. That is so broken, and I love it. The fact is that you can only get it from Curios. So what you need to do is Curio farm and pray to RNGesus that you get it. Now those are the 4, well actually 5, because damage cap is mandatory. So those are the 5 that are mandatory for him, in my opinion. Damage cap is always a mandatory for anyone. You want a base of 3. I don't do the min-maxing, so I don't actually look at the numbers and see what I'm hitting. I have 3 right now, and that really helps out. I want my substats. I would not want fast learner, that's EXP. I would want something like maybe stamina, crit rate, nimble onslaught, Potion Hoarder, Guts, something of that nature. Now, one that can be slotted in and out is Tyranny. What Tyranny does is it gives you, in base level on 5, it gives you +27% base attack. Now what it does though is it saps your max HP down like 20%. You can see that right there. It says it. I would at least have it at 11. If I had War Elemental, I would have War Elemental right there and not run another Tyranny. You could run another Tyranny, but if you run 2 Tyranny, I would also say maybe have Guts on somewhere, because you're gonna get one tapped no matter what. If your health is below 30k or something like that, you're gonna get one tapped, and that's just facts. I have him built with a little bit of crit, just because his Damascus knife, which I will go over in a second, doesn't have any crit rate on it. Now for down here, which is dodge specific, Nimble Onslaught. What this does is extends invincibility after a perfect dodge, which will be insane for when you use his triangle, or his secondary attack, which you always will be using. And it boosts the charge speed of your SBA gauge and shortens skill cooldowns. Oh man, if you shorten skill cooldowns, that's awesome already. Plus I have a quick cooldown, which shortens skill cooldowns already. So I have a base 8%, and then this gives me minus 2.7%. So that's at least 10.7%, if that's how it scales. Now what I also recommend is dodge payback. Since you're going to be dodging a lot with your triangle or your secondary attack, it extends your invincibility and temporarily boosts your attack. Let's go to dodge payback and see how much we get. Plus 1 second of invincibility, that's awesome. And we get a base plus 18% for doing just a quick dodge. Awesome. So in this empty slot, I don't know what I'm going to put yet. I haven't decided. Maybe Guts, maybe another Tyranny. But if I had War Elemental or Supplemental Damage is insane. I actually have one of them, but that's on my Narmaya at the moment. Let's see where it is down here. Let's see, right here. What Supplemental does is, as the buff, which it does stack with the buff, by the way. On him, if you have the Supplemental buff skill and you have this on, it'll stack. So you'll get even more percentage to see it viable and get used. Let's see. No, I don't want to equip it, but it'll give you a certain percentage of activating your skills. And now we will go into the actual weapons. I have all of them built. I don't have them maxed out yet. I would have to grind. That's what today is going to be spent with, building this guide and then grinding. What I'm using right now is his ult. So let me just equip this. His Terminus weapon, which you get from the Proto Bahamut raid randomly. What I recommend is only unlocking the characters that you will use immediately. I got all of the base set characters that you automatically have unlocked, their weapons. Then I unlocked him, and my very next raid I got his weapon. It doesn't matter who you're playing, you're gonna get them at random. So I wouldn't recommend unlocking every single character, because then the character that you're playing is gonna have a less amount of probability to get their weapon. But what this weapon does is it gives you Catastrophe, which boosts attack power and damage cap when maximum health drops below a certain threshold, and regen, which automatically recovers health. Now let's actually go into this Catastrophe and show you the percentage. What you need to do, this is why I don't recommend any health sigils. Your health has to be below 45k. I recommend always being below 45k, so you can get your plus 50% and your plus 100% damage cap. Regen plus 2% of your max HP. It helps out really good. If you want to run this, I would recommend, or if you don't have the Terminus, I would recommend running crit rate, crit damage. That's what I ran on my Narmaya. Or you could run the Ascension weapon for just base HP and base attack. Here we are with the boss fight showcase. This won't last very long, but I'll be showing you how I play my Lancelot and yeah, how his skills work. Use his gap closer, instantly start to do your skills. Boom. Chain. And look, just stand here and get arthritis. Now what I can do, glaciate. My team can start getting some DPS off if they would. That would be fantastic. And this is basically just how you play him. I know this is going to be an easy showcase look. You can gap close with this. Another link. Boom. It's super, I would say he is extremely beginner friendly. Super simple. I know I could have done another boss fight to showcase this a lot better, but you're just mashing square, you're normal, and then dodging with triangle. There's nothing too crazy. If you're a beginner, I would recommend playing him. He kind of lets me turn my brain off a little bit. I'm used to playing Narmaya and having to stand switch and be so meticulous with my combos. That's my guide. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. I will catch y'all in the next video. It might be a Zeta guide. Whoever I decide to play next, I don't know. Peace.